Hey, Chris from AV.technology here on the Listen Tech stand at InfoComm 2025. I'm here with Kasey. Kasey, so I wanted to talk to you about Auri and I guess where you're at with your Auracast-based system. That's hard to say. Do you want to give us the update of where we're at?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're about 90 days launched into the marketplace, so we're already shipping. The results have been incredible. Just the adoption, just the perception of what Auracast is, and just the potential of where this is going. Not just in the wheelhouse of assisted listening, but even just beyond that. So as it relates to us with Auri, like I said, we just released it. So even though we just released it a couple months ago, we're already hot. We're already talking about new add-ons, new feature sets, new updates that we've already just put in and implemented just in time for this show as well. So this is something where even though it's here, it is such a massive, such a profound technology, just to see how it's proliferating in a lot of different ways, and all the feedback that we got, we're listening. We've added on a few different things already to it.
So like what?
The main one that we're kind of talking about is open API, third-party control. I've been in the field talking about this just conceptually for a couple of years now, and I know that was a big ask. So listening to our customers about why that's so important, that's something that we're rolling out with right now. So that's the first major one that we kind of explored. So.
And currently, are you mainly going for the assisted listening market, or are you instantly surprised by where you're finding your systems are going?
Instantly surprised, like how far. So assisted listening, we definitely see this as kind of the benchmark of where assisted listening is going as a category. So that's already coming. That's already, like I said, proliferating. But there's been new markets. I mean, I could even tell you, like conceptually, it's funny because when we first started talking about it, we were talking about, oh, what about at an airport gate? Because you can't hear anything. So even though we were at ISC, and that was kind of our first debut to the world early last year, where we had it as a mock-up airport gate, I've had multiple calls, I've been involved in multiple meetings, and that's a big need. And I think the reason why that's so big is because it just demonstrates that, yes, by essence, we're an assisted listening company. Yes, this is for assisted listening, but there's so many areas where people are going to utilize this technology that are not hard of hearing or do not have a need where they have to have some sort of hearing augmentation. It's just a loud environment. We live in a very noisy world, and Auracast is kind of that chassis that helps bridge that audio to us. So,
where do you think the support? I guess it's a marketing question almost, where how does the end user start to hear more about Auracast-based systems?
Yeah, so that's very interesting as well. So obviously it's a pretty big buzzword right now. Bluetooth as an organization, they actually have resources on their website that they manage that are on both ends. So if you're a manufacturer, if you're someone that's actually incorporating Auracast into your technology, there is a license that you have to register with them. That's on their site. That's getting added and updated every day because there's so many people coming out with Auracast-enabled devices. So that's on the Bluetooth Auracast website. But then even as the venue, there's a lot of excitement about venues adopting this. The venue actually has the ability to go onto that site, register. We are a venue that has Auracast available. From a philosophy standpoint, for someone that's been with Listen for coming on 19 years, I love that philosophy because it just shows, and I hope that that does continue to have that adaption and just getting the word out. So that is being populated, but like it's the venues that, it's usually on the onus of the venue to add that in, but I would really like to see that continue. But both those resources are there, so that's why I've seen kind of the instant result of, oh, does this hearing aid have Auracast yet? Did these wireless headsets have Auracast yet? So I'm referencing that site on Bluetooth pretty much daily. So.
And what about, I guess, sort of the neurodiverse market? That sounds like a horrible way of putting it, but
yeah.
So is there, if I'm a venue, and will I find the fact that, say, your system allows me to sort of cater for or be sympathetic to or support sort of my neurodiverse clients?
Yeah.
Like, do you see that? Do you see that as a potentially large-ish market, or is it still extremely niche?
No, that's actually the thing. That's a very good question. I think a lot of it is what I think and what I hypothesize where this is going. I think there is going to be a big movement with this. Case in point, I mean, I usually, when it comes to some assisted listening, some venues will adopt it more for meeting a legislation or letter of the law more so than
box ticking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's reversed.
Yeah.
Even in the last day that we've been here, there are people that are leading with Auricast first, and then they're like, okay, we're going to adapt this first, and then we're going to decide the DSP we're using. We're just going to decide our microphone system we're using. So it's changing, it's flipping where usually this goes. So I hope that answers your question, but it's already having a pretty good scale.
And I guess sort of related, but finally, traditionally a assisted hearing system was a sunk cost, something you got to do to be compliant. But now, like if I'm an exhibition centre or a conference centre or whatever, am I able to actually get a return on that investment in on selling the system?
Absolutely. What I see, especially as it relates to, and I said it a minute ago, we live in a very noisy world. Part of that is our own doing. When I went to college almost 20 years ago, I think maybe one of my classrooms had audio in it, infrastructure, where now basically all of them do. So that's just the classroom aspect, but that happens all over the place. Like a convention center, this is a very loud floor as well, So how do you make sure people can hear better where they're going? The classroom example, as I said that, is because we're creating audio. The audio is there. The infrastructure is there. How can I bridge that better to make sure that my messaging is being heard? I think that's the important thing. Is what's happened in hearing health is it used to be pretty normal, even just several years ago, where someone had trouble hearing, whether they had a hearing loss themselves or maybe it was just a loud environment. They're just going to be used to, okay, I'm going to hear every third word and it's really loud. I'm just going to kind of fake it till I make it. Now people are having all this technology in their hands. They realize we have access to it. We have pretty much the right to have better audio experiences because the technology's there. The infrastructure's there.
Yeah.
So because of that, that's where I think there's a huge importance of, I'm going to utilize what I can. So I think it brings a value and an ROI to a convention center, to a performing arts center, to have really good sounding audio quality to make sure that everyone's hearing what they're supposed to be hearing.
Sure, but if I'm an AV events company, I might have 200 channels of wireless, but if I have 200 kind of sets of Auri, I can. It's not just, I've got these because I might do tour guide this or tour guide, but there's all these other applications that I can rent this gear out.
Oh, 100%.
So that's a different place for you guys to be.
That is, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. So, and that's what we see too. Is we talked about it from the form of assisted listening, but there's a lot of events going on. Like I just worked on an event space where they have, in one convention hall, they have 9 different stages all together. The microphones are booming out of they have, just like over here, they have a microphone with a bunch of loudspeakers. Imagine if you're sitting here, you're getting bleed over audio from the stage adjacent to it. It's like, kind of gets a little messy, messaging gets a little convoluted, so that's something where if you're able to segment it and really prioritize on the audio you're receiving, that's where we see that. So.
Well, thanks, Kasey. It's exciting times.
It is very exciting. Yes, the audio, the power of being able to have just audio at your disposal. That's the beauty of Auri.
Cool. So. All right, thank you.
Awesome.